Your brain is wired to keep you safe, but sometimes that safety is exactly what holds you back. You fall into routines without even noticing, repeating the same days again and again. And when you finally stop to look at yourself, you start wondering why you're not further ahead. It's because your brain loves comfort. It wants you to stay where everything feels familiar. But that comfort zone keeps you repeating the same habits, the same mistakes, and the same results. Your brain makes growth look confusing or overwhelming, even when it's actually simple. It whispers things like, "Let's not try that. What if we fail?" But your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you from discomfort. And once you understand that, you can make a powerful mental shift that changes everything. You can choose to move forward even when your brain wants you to stay exactly where you are. Most of the things holding you back aren't real barriers. They're mental habits your brain built to keep you safe. Even when new opportunities appear, your brain hesitates, trying to protect you from anything unfamiliar. But every day you're standing at a crossroads, stay comfortable, or choose growth. And growth doesn't start with massive action. It starts with a single decision to try. Your brain runs on patterns, and those patterns decide how you think, act, and react. But inside you, there's potential waiting to be unlocked, even if your brain keeps it hidden behind fear. When you finally see your potential clearly, everything begins to shift. You start taking action with energy instead of hesitation, and your brain begins to adapt. The real key is a mindset shift, choosing growth even when it feels uncomfortable. And once you step through the door, you leave behind the version of you that stayed stuck. Your brain builds walls out of fear and doubt, but those walls aren't solid and they're just habits you've repeated for years. Once you map out where you are and where you want to be, the path becomes clearer. Growth starts small, like a seed, but when you pay attention to it, it becomes something powerful. And when you look closely, you'll see a stronger version of yourself waiting to emerge. To reach that version, you need new habits, tools that help you build the life you want. And every day you get to choose, stay comfortable or step toward growth. Even small steps upward count. Every level you climb changes who you become. Consistency is where the magic happens. One small win at a time. Because real change isn't about doing more, it's about becoming someone new. And when you start walking toward that new identity, your old patterns begin to fade. Your old beliefs shape your limits. But once you examine them, you realize most of them aren't even true. You can rewrite the stories you tell yourself, starting with the ones that hold you back. And when you replace "I can't" with "I can learn," everything changes. Your brain is built to grow. Neuroplasticity means you can literally rewire your thinking. New thoughts create new emotions, new actions, and eventually a new identity. And it all starts with small, daily actions, tiny steps that compound over time. Every time you choose growth, you score a point for your future self. Small wins matter. They build confidence, momentum, and belief. And as you grow, you become more resilient, able to handle challenges without giving up. Because real transformation happens one small step at a time, repeated consistently. Time is passing whether you grow or not, but when you choose growth, every moment becomes meaningful. Planning your growth makes it intentional. It turns hope into a strategy. And once you know your direction, your actions become clearer and more focused. You start replacing negative thoughts with empowering ones, and your brain begins to follow your lead. Clarity comes when your mind is calm. Focus grows when you create space for it. New habits grow slowly at first, but with patience, they become powerful. And every bit of progress counts. Even the small steps add up. Momentum builds when you show up consistently, even on the days you don't feel like it. Celebrate your small victories. They're proof that you're becoming someone stronger. Because the goal isn't perfection, it's simply being better than you were yesterday. At some point, you have to flip the switch, the moment you decide you're done staying average. Growth begins when you stop making excuses and start taking action. Your old identity will try to anchor you down, but awareness is the first step to breaking free. Responsibility is a powerful tool and gives you control over your life again. And when you step toward a new identity, you open the door to a completely different future. Writing down who you want to become helps your brain start believing it. Self-belief is the missing piece that makes everything else click into place. As your confidence grows, so does your ability to take on bigger challenges. You start showing up differently, speaking, acting, and thinking like the person you're becoming. And with every new skill you carry forward, your old limitations fade behind you. Growth becomes easier when you start respecting yourself, your time, your energy, and your potential. You begin to see yourself differently, not as who you were, but as who you're becoming. You clear out the mental clutter that once held you back. And you recharge your energy by focusing on what truly matters. Rest becomes part of your growth, not a distraction from it. You set boundaries that protect your progress and your peace. You stop worrying about what you can't control and focus on what you can. You start shaping your future with intention, one choice at a time. And you turn up your effort, not because you have to, but because you want to. Every step upward builds strength, confidence, and momentum. You raise your standards, not to impress anyone, but because you know you deserve better. You start managing your time with intention, focusing on what truly matters. You aim your energy toward long-term goals instead of short-term comfort. You choose new patterns that support the person you want to become. You learn from every step, even the mistakes, and use them to grow. You break through the beliefs that once held you back. You see your journey clearly now, not as a burden, but as an adventure. Clarity lights your path, helping you make better choices every day. You celebrate your wins, no matter how small, because they're proof of progress. And you realize you're not just changing your habits, you're changing who you are becoming. Your identity begins to shift. You stop acting like the old you and start becoming the new you. You design your future self with intention, instead of leaving it to chance. Awareness lights up the parts of your life you used to ignore. And slowly, growth starts to outweigh comfort. You repaint your life with new habits, new choices, and new standards. You can feel yourself improving, not all at once, but steadily. You speak to yourself with encouragement instead of criticism. You show up day after day, building momentum that's impossible to ignore. And you realize consistency is the real superpower. Every step you take builds the foundation for the person you're becoming. You start writing a new chapter of your life, one where you're in control. You carve your new identity through your choices, your habits, and your actions. And you begin to see a stronger version of yourself staring back at you. You unlock doors you once thought were impossible to open. You step into a future filled with skills, confidence, and possibility. You plant your flag and claim your growth with pride. You discover your purpose, the thing that pulls you forward. And you walk boldly toward the life you're building, one step at a time. You realize you're not average anymore. You've outgrown who you used to be. And the best part? This is only the beginning of who you're becoming.